Greetings, programs, and welcome. Today, I'm going to take you through this lab that I built because I think it's really cool and useful for learning. And while I have it all set up, I thought, hey, let's just walk through it. So hopefully, it will be useful for you too. So this is a hybrid cloud lab using Duo and Microsoft 365 and on-prem AD. And I have like just a couple common use cases so that I can show you how it all works. So let's go ahead and just take a look at item one, the infrastructure. So this is my lab. There's a lot in it, but what we're going to do is we're going to focus on kind of our key nodes here. So first is going to be this jump box. And then the second thing that we're going to care about are these, Active Directory domain controllers, these guys right here. And we've got our Firepower Management Center right here. We're going to care about. And then you'll notice I have these lines, this AD Connect and Auth proxy. So we're going to be working with that, and I'll explain how all that works in a minute. And that's how we get wired up to Microsoft 365 and do SSO, which we're going to federate. I'll show you how all that works. And then we've got this firewall right here that I'm going to use to demonstrate VPN. And then so that's the thing. That's the infrastructure. So let's start with something actually pretty easy, which is going to be the Windows login. So first, let's take a look at like how that gets wired up. So let's go over here to the dashboard in Duo, and under applications, you'll see I've got this application here called Microsoft RDP. We'll take a quick look at this guy. And this is just all the information for connecting. And notice I've got this application policy called RDP login, and this just allows me to customize my authentication methods for easy and global policy. There's really not much here. Couple of things here. Offline authentication. We're going to test that. It's really cool. And now I want to show you how we get the users into Duo. So the way I've got this wired up right now is if we go into users and we look at directory sync, I've got this thing called Pod1 AD Sync, and it uses this connection called AD Sync connection. And so there's a thing called an auth proxy, which lives on, right now I just have it co-located on one of the domain controllers. We can also see it through, you can be able to see it in single sign-on, right? Yeah, same thing. So we can see we've got our auth proxy and it's connected. Oh, looks like I'm not running the latest and greatest. Gosh, I should fix that. But the auth proxy is this guy here, right? The Duo auth proxy. And then that's how we're tying Duo back into our Active Directory domain. So let's actually go ahead and demo this, and I'll show you what it looks like. So first things first, we're going to hop on the jump box, and we're going to use this test machine here. So first I'm going to disconnect from it. And then we'll reconnect to it. So check this out. Password. And notice now we get a Duo thing. So this is you install the application on there. And so I'm going to get the Duo push. So I'll go ahead and you can't see this part, it's off screen, but I'm approving it and we're on, which is pretty cool, right? So I want to show you something cool, even cooler. So first let's do windowsecurity.com. Okay, that works. Now we're going to do get process or get service, DNS, stop service. So we're going to stop the DNS server service. And let's see if we can still ping security.com. Did I spell that right? Oh my gosh. I'm messing up all over here. Yep. Okay, we're good. So what I've done now is I've made this thing so it's still in the network, but because DNS is disabled, it's not going to be able to reach out to the Duo cloud. So let's go ahead and connect again. Okay, notice that now that the prompt changed, and so this is offline mode. So this uses a TOTP, a time-based one-time password. Let me go ahead and enter that in. This is okay. So that enabled us to get in even without being connected to the network. I want to show you something about that. This is sort of meant so that you don't get locked out of your machines if you lose access to the internet or something. But if you take a look at the application configuration for this guy, if you go down to the bottom here, check this out. So with the offline authentication, you can actually limit the number of offline logins. So the idea behind this is you wouldn't want to use this someone to use this as an attack vector. So we're not gonna make it so that, oh yeah, I'll just kick them off the network and then start trying to brute force my way into this machine or something. So this is just a control to prevent this from potentially being abused, right? And this is just allows us to say, okay, we're only going to allow offline access to domain admins, right? Which kind of makes sense, right? So let's go ahead and turn this back on. We're done with that demo. That was our Windows login. So we'll do the we'll start the service, start our DNS service back up. Okay. Let's see if this works now, and it does. So that works again. All right, cool. So let's look at our second use case. Come back here for a second. We're going to look at this guy, Microsoft 365 federated login. So this is really cool. All right, so from an infrastructure standpoint, we've got this guy here, AD Connect, and then AD Connect is how we synchronize our Active Directory users into Microsoft 365. So Duo is getting the users, Microsoft 365 is getting the users. We're then federating them. That seems a little strange at first, but it'll make sense once I kind of start to kind of peel back the layers a little bit. So first off, if we go take a look at this, I want to point out that if you go to this site right here, check this out. This is what I'm using. So you can get a free Microsoft E5 environment to play in. So that's what I did. I signed up for this in a couple days. It took a couple days, and then I got provisioned, and then I started building everything up. And if we come in here and take a look here under, okay, I'm logged in as a user, so we need to log in as an administrator. So let's do that. See if I can go over that link box. Nope. Nope. Let's see. So we're gonna log into Microsoft 365. And if we look under admin, settings, domains, you'll see I've got this domain abl.ninja. So that's a domain that I registered. And notice that my DNS is at Cloudflare and that we've got a federated domain. So we had to create, so this thing created some DNS records for me and everything. It was really cool how it worked. And that once I had this wired up and everything working, I went over to Duo, and then on the Duo side, we got this application called um, M365 single sign. So let's take a look at this for a second. So what's really cool is notice you put in all your information and then you download this PowerShell script. Take a look at it real fast. I'm not going to look at it, but you download the PowerShell script and then you run this on a domain joined machine and it automates the process of handling the federation for you. So let me dig a little deeper and show you what that looks like. So if we do get the MSOL domain, here's our ABL.ninja. Notice it says it's federated. And if we look at our MSOL federation settings, so this is how Office 360, Microsoft 365 knows how to talk to Duo. And this was all done by the PowerShell script. I didn't have to hand configure this. It just I ran the script and it wrapped it out, and like a couple minutes later, it's working. It's ridiculously easy to spin up. So let's go ahead and demo it now. I'm going to go ahead and log in as Bubba. So let's actually just log out and log back in. Let's see. We'll just go to Office stuff. Let's sign in. And so if you take a look here, you'll notice I got redirected to Duo. So this is how SAML works. So now I'm gonna sign in. And then I'm going to get secondary auth. So let's go ahead and enter that in. Okay. And we're in. Pretty easy. That's weird. All right, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's try it again. Not sure what happened there. I was just trying to log in and it was oh, signed in. Okay, still better this time. And we got our swap proof that it's still working. There's my test email. Now, if we go to look at the Duo, and we take a look under reports, and we look at our log. Here we go. So this is our log entry showing that we signed in. So that's pretty cool. And notice this machine doesn't have Duo desktop, so we're not getting nearly as much information about the endpoint as if we were. So if we look at it like for example, a machine that does have it. Here we go. This machine has Duo desktop on it. Look at this. Check out all this extra information that you get when you use Duo desktop. So you can use this for conditional access. You can also use that API to ship that off to XDR or something like that. So it's like super cool. So that's what that looks like. All right. So let's move on to use case number 3. All right. Use case number 3 is actually really simple. This is going to be our Firepower SAML login. So this is for VPN. So let's go ahead and knock that out fast. We'll hop back over to our jump box and let's log in our firewall. And if we take a look at our connection profile, which is it's this one right here. Notice we have a authentication policy called dual single sign-on SSO. So let's actually go take a look at that guy. Go under this AAA servers. Yeah, single sign-on server. So that's this guy here. Let's just take a real quick look at it. So this is all all the information that you would get from the Duo application. So we go in here where it's defined, and this is it right here. So we just take all these bits and plug them in, and that's really all there is to it. It's like super straightforward, pretty cool. I want to show you something else that I think is really neat. So if we back up, take a look at this connection profile. So one of the things you can do with SSO that's really cool is notice this part right here, default OS browser. So if I hover, so you have the built-in mini browser that's in the VPN client, but this if you use the default OS browser, what this does is this actually enables you to use the built-in like WebAuth built into the browser in your machine. So like if you're connecting with a VPN with a laptop or something, you could potentially use passwordless by using something called WebAuth in. I'll show you where that's located, like on the Duo side. So if you go like if we go look at a policy, like we'll pick one like VPN. Like if we take a look at this policy, check this out. That's what this is right here, right? So you need the operating system browser to enable that. So that way you could use like a thumbprint reader on your laptop or something like that and not have to enter password every time. It's really, really cool. So now that we've walked through all of that, let's test it. So we're going to go to our jump box and we're going to connect to our VPN head end. And notice all of a sudden like this web browser pops up. Like what just happened? Right. So this is SAML because in SAML, the web browser actually acts as an intermediary between the identity provider and the service provider. Really important to know about if you're going to be messing with this stuff, I suppose. So I'm going to enter my password. And there's my dog. And now I'm going to get to do a single sign-on prompt. Done. Okay. So I want to show you something else that's really cool. I'm gonna disconnect. Okay. Now what we're going to do is let's say that we've had a policy change. CISO says, "Hey, we need a stronger multi-factor authentication." So let's go to that VPN policy. Let's go here and let's actually change the verified dual push to 5 digits. Save policy. Now I'm gonna hop back onto my VPN client. I'm gonna connect again. And notice now I have to enter 5 digits instead of three. So I up the difficulty level. So 2, 6. I'm in. So that's one of the things I really love about Duo is how just it's so quick and easy to change a policy. Like a lot of other products, you're like digging through like some terrible like Homer Simpson UI to try and get at this stuff. It's really very nice. Okay, one last thing before I let you go. We're in 1925 there. All right, so best way thing ever. Beer Drinker's Guide to SAML. Super duper awesome. Great resource. Okay, we did it. We got through it in less than 20 minutes. And if you made it all this way, congratulations. You are awesome. And hope to see you soon in the next video. And cheers. Have yourself a good one.